Good Things with BBB helps you be a better business.
Welcome to another episode of the All Good Things with BBB podcast. I'm Jessica Tharp, your CEO, and today's host. Our show is produced by Stephanie Blue behind the scenes, and our new soundtrack has been created by Andrew Smith in our office. So we've got another interview today with a local business owner to hear his story. We've invited Ryan Weiler and his wife Jolynn of RW Stoneworks located in Morton. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
You guys won the Torch Award a couple of years ago for business ethics and integrity, and we're going to learn about how Ryan and his team integrate integrity into every little thing they do. But first, we want to hear about how RW Stoneworks started and all of the wonderful things you guys are offering today.
Absolutely. So we just started. It's been some years, but it was very small. Just I think the original story was I borrowed a couple shovels from a friend and just started getting jobs. I did some work for family and used social media to put those project pictures out there, which were very small at the time. But other people took interest in it, and I was able to get other projects along the same lines, and it just kind of spiraled up from there. It was not easy. I mean, it was a lot of small stuff, a lot of shoveling rock, a lot of hard landscaping work, but it all paid off in the end.
Who taught you how to do the stonework part?
All of me and my brothers have a little bit of experience from it from our past. We had worked at a landscape company, each of us, for maybe a year or two, but nothing that would have taught us anything. Most of it was just a collaboration of just skills we'd gained over the years of carpentry, fencing, plumbing, electrical, all of these things that we've learned from being on a farm, and just we also kind of came up with less than most people, so we were pretty resourceful.
Yeah.
So anything like landscape or hardscape, once we applied ourselves to it, it came pretty easy. And this day and age, the knowledge that is out there, and once we started to fall in love with the art of hardscaping, we just dove deep into the study of it and the engineering of it and the structural engineering and just how can we take this just to the next level.
Yeah.
We don't just want it to be normal.
In terms of hardscaping, when we see those projects, and you said that you started and the jobs were small, and it was just the shovels. What was some of the hardest parts of that?
The biggest thing is, for most people, I think, is you're just taking a huge risk because you don't know. You have children and a wife to take care of. I mean, it almost makes me emotional because anybody that's gone through it knows that it's really hard. It's scary.
Yeah.
You have to have someone that trusts in what you do, and trusts that it's going to work out and that everything is going to be okay. And sometimes when you think you're like, wow, I don't know if it's going to work, just something happens. And I've had a very firm rule that anytime we do, see hard times or whatever back in the day, if we would just focus on doing something good, something would turn around.
Something for someone else, you mean?
100%. If you got $10 left in your pocket and you spend $9 on someone at the gas station to buy their lunch, you walk out the door and I'm not kidding, someone, will say, hey, could you come take a look at a project for me? But I've learned that if those hard times do come, you just focus on trying to take what you do have and give it away and give it to somebody and give your talent to somebody, and it will just come right back to you. So it might take a few days.
You're like,
and it's
bought that lunch on Tuesday,
it's hard to see the light sometimes, but if you don't see the light, that's where that good thing comes in, is you got to go find it.
You got to give it
out.
It
is out there. It is 100%. If you think that that's just going to come to you, it's not. But there are so many people out there that can just use an extra hand. They don't need money. They just maybe need someone that is handy that can hook up a electrical box or can fix their little water problem or something. And it's easy to find people that need that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we've always tried to focus on that, and then the work comes. It just does. If you focus on those things, the work just comes.
Yeah.
Not to mention how many people that you get to help and be
Buy into
part
it.
of their lives. We was talking about it the other day, what a like honor it is to drive through our town. And it's such a simple thing, but such an earned thing. You know, when you're passing cars going down Main Street and it's just this.
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan, or hey, Jolynn, hey, you know, the police, hey. You know, everybody is like, hey, but I was telling her it's just a simple thing, but what a hard thing to earn, to have that connection with that many people. And then there's only one way to get it, and that is to really put yourself out there and try to do stuff for people and not be afraid to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's, I think, people's biggest fear is they're just a little awkward. Like, how would I buy this guy a coffee? Well, just do it.
Mm.
Just be weird.
Just be weird.
Just walk up and they're going to go, why are you doing this today? And you're going to be like, because I want to.
Yeah.
Because I need to.
I need to do that.
That's a lot of times I tell people I need to do this. They're like, why? I said, because I'm having a rough day. And they're like, this makes no sense at all. I'm like, well, if I'm having a rough day and I'm going to take care of your coffee and stuff today, I said, it's going to get better.
Yeah.
That's how you...
doing good for someone else.
Yeah. That's how you fight the negatives.
Yeah. I'm going to drift over to corporate here, which you lovingly call her. Jolynn, when Ryan first said that he wanted to go out on his own, where was your family at that point? You guys had kids at the time?
Yeah, we had maybe one.
Mm-hmm.
One.
Yeah.
We just had one. We had 3 kids in 3 years. So
yeah, so that's entertaining. So what is it about Ryan that you just immediately trusted that he's going to do this? I assume you had no doubt about it, you know?
He because he just does. He just does it. If he says, like, it's going to work, I just know that it will. When we had our first baby, he was like, I'm gonna have to go work at this, like, it wasn't a factory, it was a factory.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a factory. And after, like, I don't know, 2 months, I was like, you can't work. You can't do this. Like, this is not who you are.
She
This is,
says,
like,
I don't care
sucking.
what happens, but you can't do this.
Yeah.
It's breaking you.
Oh,
It's like breaking who you are.
yeah.
Because we'd come from the horse world and the farming life, and so she kind of knew I was probably never going to be, like, tied to a factory or...
Inside.
I'd always been
Yeah,
working
like...
for myself, doing something, and so, you know, she was kind of on board with that crazy cowboy attitude at the time, because that's what it was. And then, you know, I was in Texas riding cutting horses, and we found out we were going to have a baby, and I just walked away from all of it. Because I knew I spent my whole life doing it. I knew how hard it was to make a living training horses, and I knew it would never, there's just no way. Even the best of the best are not just
Set.
killing it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So that's when I did do the factory thing. I said, I'm going to do the man thing and be responsible and just suck it up and just do what society's telling me to do. And that's just go work on a factory line, which there's nothing wrong with that.
What would you call that? Like, guaranteed income.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
know, but that just...
And even after that, when I left there, my leaving was to go back to horses again, but to be a farrier, to shoe horses, because there's more money to do that, so I could still stay in the world that I loved and I knew. And I still did that, and then hardscaping came up, because you needed money. Again, the horse thing's not paying out, and we have a baby and all kinds of stuff that you're trying to do and live. Again, where all those skills come from is because you do what you got to do at the time. And then it's just graduated to the point where people trust in that idea so much with us that it doesn't matter what it is that we're going to do or try to do or attempt to do. They're fully confident we're going to get it there. You can flat tell people, I have no idea how we're going to do it. And they're like, we'll see how it works out then. That's a hard thing, a hard trust for people to say that.
Well, that comes from your commitment to excellence. Like, there's nothing that you've done halfway.
No.
So
No, never.
that's the trust.
Not,
they know
yeah.
that you're not, if you're not happy with it, you won't let it stay.
No.
Well, and there's been times where, like, he's learned that, oh, the technique I was using maybe is not it's going to compromise the integrity of the project. And a year later, he calls the person and says,
I'm
for
redoing
my
it.
own self, I need to tear this out and redo it because I won't let that be.
And that's come to our attention here that, you know, people have said that, like, there was nothing wrong with it. They had no symptoms of anything going wrong with the project, but that you had learned that there was a better way to do it. And so you just redid it all.
That's right. I've done it quite a few times. And a lot of times a lot of people say, oh, I feel so bad that you have to do that. But what I'd say we're kind of addicted to learning a little bit. So, like, if we do one thing, the whole time we're doing anything, we're constantly researching it or looking it up.
How long did that take for you to get that confidence of when you're first starting out and you're not where you're at today, obviously? So you're just starting out with those patio projects, but you kind of have that vision of, oh, I think it could be something better. Did you leap into, I'm just going to do what I think I can do here, or was there a little bit of doubt?
It all mostly comes down to the work, because if you're the owner and if you see it could be something and you know you can get it there, if there's no money or risk involved for the client, just a better outcome, and you're willing to put that work in on the weekends, on a Sunday, in the rain, in the snow, nobody's paying my hourly wage. So I can see that through to what I wanted to see it be.
And
basically.
yeah.
And it's been the same way with, like, Eric and I both. We're off the clock. If we want to get something done, like, to that scale that we want to get it there, we will sacrifice our own time to make sure it gets there. And in the beginning, it takes a lot of that. It is a lot. But as I tell everybody, if someone is willing to give you full freedom and artistic freedom in a project, you have to take it all the way. And that means taking stuff out. It's just like having an eraser when you're painting a picture. It's not set in stone. That's one of my lines. It's one of my bolder ones. Granny, like to do that. That's all family. Anyways, that's so silly. But we spent a lot of times just dedicating ourselves to see it through because it's what we wanted. Like, I want those pictures to be something I'm proud of and my kids look at and they're like, wow.
My dad did that.
My dad did that. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a lot of sacrifice of your own time, but that's how you get it. But nobody wants to do that anymore. You're going to have to take it there on your own. You're going to have to blow them away that you were willing to take it there. And then you've created these people and customers and friends that just believe in you. And then you put them into the world, and then you move to the next one, and you make another group of people believe in you, and you just keep adding those up. And before long, you got an army that says that they can do anything. They can just do anything.
Well, and I think that the moment I knew that, like, you believed in yourself, like, I can do this, I'm gonna do this, this is what we're gonna do, is when you bought the Vermeer.
The first mini skid.
I mean, because that
was a huge
instead
thing.
Of like a new vehicle, we got an asset instead.
I mean, we had an old truck. All of it is just crazy risk. You know what I mean? Like,
because you buy a piece of equipment.
Like, oh, look, a $60,000 piece of equipment. What am I doing next week? What am I doing the next week? When's the payment due? And even when we got the equipment, we weren't even, financially in a spot where we probably should have, but there were opportunities set up by companies like Vermeer and stuff for guys starting out like me that gives you a chance to get a piece of equipment in a way you could afford it and get it. There's no going back. Like, that was always my attitude. Like, I'm pulling the trigger, and it is what it is. We're just going to figure it out. And every step of the way has been that way. We need this machine or this trailer. Whatever financially, it might not look like it might work out. It doesn't matter. We're going for it.
And I remember a couple of years ago, one of the biggest smiles on your face was when your brother joined
Mm-hmm.
you. Tell about that decision.
Me and my brother, everybody asks us that, and it's
Not hard.
not hard.
Not hard. You guys have a really good
Uh,
relationship.
Eric is on point with everything, and I trust every. Get me all teary-eyed. Yeah.
Yeah, he's your wingman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
My brothers are everything.
yeah, and you have two brothers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're twins with each other.
Oh, I
say
didn't
they're
realize.
twins, but when I say that, people think, "Oh, you have a twin." Right.
Yeah.
And
No, the other brothers are twins.
Eric and Aaron are twins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when it came to working with my brother, the biggest thing is most people ask us, but we didn't have a typical upbringing. I mean, we bickered and fought, but for the most part, we needed each other.
You were best friends.
Yes.
Yes.
Until this day, we depend on each other.
Yeah.
100% over anybody in this world. Like, my brothers to my brothers.
Yeah.
That's just it.
And when I've seen you with your brother, I can tell you both have that desire for excellence. Like you want to outdo your last project.
Yes.
You know,
And each other.
Yeah.
Like, oh, and each other.
And each other.
Like what? Who can carry the most
Uh,
stuff or what?
Well, there's so many things.
Together.
Okay, nice. Nice.
Like when you go to a project that Eric's at and Drew, our lead guy, Drew's been at Eric's side for the last couple years learning everything from Eric. Not that there's nothing to learn from me, but I'm more of the artistic version and Eric's more of the just tape
Project
measures
management.
and string lines. And when you go into a project like where he's at, it's most people would overlook the details because they don't even realize what it would take to do it. You know, recessing stuff in the stone just flawlessly and
Yeah.
the time they take to do it, because you can build all this stuff, but when you start seeing outlets that are recessed into the stonework and they're perfect and the wires running through all the stonework some magical way, and, you know, it's just really impressive because it's not like you can just run over and cut another piece of wood. You know, the other day he spent 45 minutes on one paver, you know, cutting it and curving it and contouring it so it would fit in this spot. And then when you put it in, you tap it and it might crack. And then you gotta make it again. So it's one of those things. It takes patience and dedication. But when you stand back and look at it, you're like,
That looks good. Yeah.
and then you got me, big brother, that walks in, or when he walks in on my stuff, that looks down and goes,
Nice.
nice.
Yeah.
And you're like,
You
you like that, huh?
Yeah.
So there's always like that brother thing there. for
Yeah.
us. And
The customer wins, so it's healthy.
all the time. Yeah.
Let's talk about adding Drew on. What has it been like bringing Drew into the culture of you and Eric, and how and your, you know, just passion for that meticulous, for that art, for that quality.
Drew, we call the unicorn. Good reason. He's a very rare individual to find. When he reached out, I had put something out looking for someone to work, and I specifically said a unicorn, you know, because it's so hard. It doesn't matter if we get dirty, we can still dress decent. It's the same as anybody going to any job.
So taking the pride
Mm-hmm.
from the first thing you do that day.
Drew has excellent leadership skills, which I think is so important, because his outlook is so good. He just is positive. And I think that if you have people surrounding you that are, you know,
Woe is me.
heavy sighers or like, oh, I don't want to redo that. I got to take that out. He's not that. He is just a bright light. And I think that really adds so much, because when I watch him lead a crew of guys, they're efficient. They're all just like, you can just tell they're like excited to be doing whatever they're doing. And so Drew truly is a unicorn. He's a wonderful human.
It's pretty neat to watch, because he gets to be that leader and he's damn good at it. And that's what I love to see. Like, I like doing that, but to see someone else do it, and then maybe the person that they're doing it for is going to do it for someone else at some point, and it just Drew's that guy.
And it's a huge testament to like your experience and your skills and your knowledge don't trump who you are as a person. Because Drew did not come from the hardscape field. He came from the surgical tech field.
100%.
So he didn't do hardscape. But he's so valuable. I mean, he's valuable because he does an excellent job in the trade, but he's so valuable because of
his mindset,
and who he is.
Yeah, he was like us, it didn't matter what the task is, he just will learn it super duper fast. Like everything. We've never wanted people to just do what we say. We just want people to do what we do. We just want a team effort. And that's why I like doing big side jobs and stuff. It is work, but it is enjoyable when you do it with people that are damn good at it. And, you just go hard for a few hours and everybody's like fist bumping, like,
we did it.
But that takes me back to like the days of bale and hay and stuff. It's all the same. It's something that no one wants to do. It is not fun. There's nothing fun about it. But you've got to find what it takes to drive everybody in the trenches. How do we get through this with a smile? Whether it be me acting goofy in the hayloft and singing or yelling stuff down to the conveyor or whatever, that's kind of where I learned that like nobody wants to be here in this hot hayloft. So it's the same thing when you're out doing this stuff. You got to have the right attitude because it's hard. So you got to find something in it, and that's where like Drew's good at it, Eric's good at it, I'm good at that. Because there's no getting out of it. Like, we're in it to win it. We want to make sure all of our people are taken care of good, but we're not going to lose the connection we have with the people.
Yeah.
If there's a project that's going to be done, it's going to be one of us that come look at it. That it's not a salesman. It's not anything like that.
You're going to get you.
We want you. Like, we want the connection with you. We want to know who you are. We want to know your project. And then we want to paint this beautiful picture for you and walk away from it and you be happy. And then we get to be happy and see it and see you in the community and talk about how fun your project was, and they refer you to someone else, and it just constantly just keeps, like, once it starts, it just starts going. Yeah. And it's pretty crazy. Because in the beginning, it does not feel like that at all. Just a matter of trust in the process as you go. 'Cause it's not a cookie cutter type of situation, which a lot of these companies are. It's really basic. And the suppliers and the stuff we use are making things really easy for people just to install it. And it's just real, like, kit-wise. Like, you just put it together and put it in your thing. We're out there, like, grinding and chiseling stuff off, and it's hard to separate because some people don't notice those types of details. Yeah. And like, why does it matter? Well, it matters to us. And I've noticed if we stick to those projects, those big custom projects come. When you're like, get there and you're like, how are we going to do this? Yeah. Like the elevation change, like when you're out there doing the lasering and stuff, you're like, how do we get from up there to down here and not spend $50 million? Because it is tricky, and you've seen it. There's only one way to do it, and that's the way I did it.
Oh, it's weird. Like, he'll just stay until it's dark to make sure that the lights look nice, and then drive across the lake to make sure that they look good from that angle.
Oh, yeah, we do lots of lights. I mean, I learned a lot about exterior illumination. Clark. So if I always use that. I use that meme with people when I tell them tonight's the night we're going to put the lights, and I always send them a picture of Clark Griswold. But yeah, we stick around. We want to see all the lights, and I'll text the people and be like, hey, we're going to be creeping by your house tonight once it gets dark. And they're usually out there too, because it just changes everything. It's crazy with the first night, like when we turn on all the landscape lights, the whole house, it just completely changes everything. The people can't even see the hardscape, and they're just blown away with the lights because just the ambient
Yeah.
light and the mood, and
Right.
if we have like gas fire pits and you get the gas, it's just
Gorgeous.
it's like a magazine, it is like a magazine. Yeah, it looks really nice. You do one project for someone down there, and then you were literally on display for all of them to watch
Your work ethic.
what you do. The guy's there at 9 o'clock every night. Like it's 10 below zero. They're there every day, just ticking away. Because you would think some of those big ones you're never going to get done. That goes back to you're the owner, you're out there working. It's just a lot of time. You don't know how it's going to play out, and you have to be the one there figuring it out as you go. That's where people are like, well, what's the plan here? There is no plan sometimes. The plan is to start. The reason no one else wants to do this job is because they can't figure out a plan. So I'm telling you, if you trust me, we're just going to figure it out as we go. And some of our projects, if something was to happen, that's another big thing is we'll go back and take care of it. Like we're not just going to leave it and leave that on you. We fully know that some of the projects we're going to have to go back. Something could move, something could shift. But that's part of the understanding of we're not just bailing out on you. When it's done, we're not just gone. We're going somewhere today to take a look at some lights because something happened in the storm, and I'm not even gonna go look at the box first. I'm just gonna go get a new box and take it over, and we're just gonna put it on there and get everything right.
So much of what you've said today is the BBB standards, the code of business practices that embody integrity and honor your promises and just standing by every single aspect of your business. And that's why we want businesses like you to be accredited. But what has it done for you, or what was part of your decision to become an accredited business?
So I was thinking about this because it is like the Better Business Bureau is like a huge part of our story, because it really is. Because at the beginning, I was always scared that I was doing stuff that I shouldn't be doing, maybe, or like someone, because I'm just like this small guy out here doing landscaping. Like, is the union going to come after me or something? It was such a big thing to be represented by that, because it's just like a stamp of approval. Like, okay, I'm saying I'm good at this, but they also say that I'm good at this, and they will tell you if I'm not good at this. Like they'll tell you the truth about us. And I invite you to call the Better Business Bureau and ask. Ask about me, ask about the other quotes or the other bids, and just ask. Because most of the places I go, people have been done wrong. They've had contractors walk out on them, not do the work, all kinds of stuff. So anywhere we go, I'm not only trying to sell ourselves to them, but I'm trying to reassure them that we're not the guy that just did them wrong. And I would say probably 8 out of 10 places I go have been done wrong, without a doubt. Probably 10 out of 10 if we talk more. It's really bad.
Yeah.
And I'm talking lots and some hundreds of thousands of dollars just gone. So every time I go there, I have to sell this I'm not that guy part of it. And most of the time people already know who we are. That's not even an issue. But that's where the Better Business Bureau comes in, is I can give them the reassurance of, no matter what you do with me, you have them. And they're not specifically on my side. They're there for you as the client.
Right.
They're here to protect you in case I do wrong. And people really like that security. So if anything goes wrong, you call the Better Business Bureau, and they're gonna figure it out, and we're all gonna work together to get through it. And people really like that.
Yeah.
And then we moved into the Torch Award things, which was another super awesome thing. I didn't even know anything like that existed. And then all the nominations, and all the customers and clients writing letters about the things that we did for them. Because you just think those things just kind of go away under the rug. Maybe not everybody notices, and it doesn't matter if everybody notices them. But then they come back around and they are being noticed, and you're like, wow, that's really cool. And then winning the Torch Awards was even cooler because we're just a couple of farm boys that started a hardscape business. We never, we didn't know where it would go. And then it to be acknowledged not for like money and success, but just for just being that genuine person, that just made it that much more clear to us that we were on the right path. Like, it was so huge, and that I preach this to people about the Better Business Bureau. I said they pay attention to the people that are doing the right things. And I said it's so important because no one says, or not that we need a pat on the back, but people that are doing the right thing, someone should tell them they're doing the right thing once in a while, because it's a pretty tough world, and sometimes you're like, you know what? People are not cool.
Yeah.
But when someone pulls you aside that is like the Better Business Bureau and says, hey, you guys are making a difference, you go home and you're like, I needed that. Yeah. Like, I needed that. And then you go back out and you just go even harder at that attitude. Like, it's not about all the money and the this and that. It's that you're representing something that's bigger than all of that.
Yeah.
Like those values. And, we're not perfect by any means, but
speak for yourself.
Corporate. But when we did the Better Business Bureau, that was a huge thing. And one thing I would bring up for anybody that is either considering it or is not part of it is an aspect that they probably didn't take into account is this. For us, the Better Business Bureau has also been a type of protection for us. And the reason is if anything gets hairy or anything like that prior to like a project or anything, we usually we know these things before we start any work. Because some clients are not easy to work with. If there's ever an issue, hey, call the Better Business Bureau. Why don't you give them a shout and talk to them about it? You know that there are people out there that are difficult and you want to steer clear of. And when we come across those people, the fact of me presenting that we are part of the Better Business Bureau and we are established with them backs them off. Like, whatever craziness they're coming at you with, whatever, because I'm not trying to sound negative, but some people just try to take too much from you. Yes. They'll take full advantage of you. And when you can present, I'm part of the Better Business Bureau, we've had the Torch Awards, like, we do the right thing. And when you're able to push that back, it kind of backs off the hard ones to deal with, because it's like, you're not going to take me down here. You're not going to take my niceness and use it against me here. Yeah. Like, we have to draw the line.
Yeah, that is a huge lesson for so many business owners. And I'm so glad that you brought that up, because but we've heard many stories of business owners who have thought they were trying to go above and beyond with a customer, in that mindset of trying to get something for nothing, and then learning that extra work or that extra piece they added on is the thing they're complaining about. And that is a tough spot to be in.
It is. And most of the time, most of the contractors, I think, are on the other end of it, where they've probably earned the right to not be trusted. And then I think there's a line when you step into the line where you are trusted and you're accredited by the BBB and you've been around for all of this time, that you do get a little more confident to where, like, I know I'm not the person you're trying to make me out to be.
Very good, yeah.
And when you're starting out a business, you can't have, like, you just got to do what anybody and everybody tells you. Like, anything could affect you getting paid to pay your bills, or anything could hurt you. With the Better Business Bureau, once we stepped out of that line and into that part of it, it became more of like a protection for us. Like, we've proven it, and they'll say that we've proved it. And I'd say for any small business, it's getting good at navigating that is what makes us good. Because I have crashed and burned that boat so many times, believing that people are just genuinely nice, which most people are, but there are some that will just try to drive you, and they know that you'll do anything for them. You'll know that you don't want anybody upset, so of course you'll add this on there. Of course we'll take care of that. Of course we'll do this.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden a week goes by and you're like, of course, okay, I can't do that. And then you get like some flack for not doing something that's like free, and you're like, okay, this isn't. Hey, did you know we're part of the Better Business Bureau? Like really, like we can't do any more for you here.
Yeah. Well, I think that comes too from our process. If anybody does have a complaint, it doesn't get posted until the end, until it's been through our review, which includes substantiation. And we go back to the beginning of what was the agreement at the beginning and where are we now. And so in those cases where, you've gone here and you've gone here and you've gone here to go above and beyond, and we're not happy with these things, it's very difficult for any person to side with someone on trying to say that they've been wronged in that case. So I think that's where that probably becomes an effective tool to say, okay, if you think this is wrong, you can go to the Better Business Bureau, but they're going to be looking at the entire situation to determine if you were in fact wronged in some way, and that's
correct.
Probably unlikely.
And they're going to say you probably should have been invoiced for all the rest of that stuff.
Right. So where was the agreement that said they would do these things? And so we try to be very objective anytime we get something that comes to us, and then we always go to the business first and say, hey, this is what we've got, here's the documentation we've received, what is your side? And so we really want to see both parties before we make any determination, and really diving into facts and proof before siding.
And that's the part about the accountability part that just takes everything to kind of another level, where the customer and the client and the Better Business Bureau and the company, you're just up in a different bracket where there's more accountability and trust. Like, you don't just get to run away.
Right.
Like, you don't get to get upset and just leave. Like, we're all in this together, folks.
Yeah.
And I think that clients really feel secure with that.
Yeah, that assurance. Sure.
Having you guys on their side and
knowing that the company that they're hiring willingly put themselves into the Better Business Bureau. I think that says a lot about.
Yes, you subject yourself to that review.
Right,
Yeah.
You're saying,
take a look.
I have nothing to hide.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I tell people, please, like, if any contractor or small business, if you're trying to sell yourself, please look into us. I tell everyone that. Look us up. Look up our Facebook. Call the Better Business. I tell people, call the Better Business Bureau. You can talk to them personally, each one of them that work there, and they probably all have a story to tell you. They know who we are, and all of those things just really add up. That's how you. It really is a giant collaboration of just people and good people.
Other small business owners within our community. Like, I've had different people call me and say, "Hey, like, the Better Business Bureau.
What do you think?"
All the time.
Like, what's your opinion? And I'm like, absolutely. You absolutely should join. And they do.
Oh,
I think like that says a lot.
I'm usually selling that idea quite a bit, because a lot of people ask me, because we post stuff all the time that is associated with Better Business Bureau. Hey, is it worth it, or is it, like, I don't know. What do you think? Like, if you're going to have problems with people, probably not. If you're going to run off, probably not. But if you want to, like, really build your business, then absolutely they should be part of your process. 100%. Why wouldn't they be? It's an entity that's here, and you can use it. Why wouldn't you use it? And it's accrediting you. It's saying that you are who you are. There's nothing else that can do that.
Right.
Really, with the business thing, besides just talking.
Right.
And pictures and things like that. So it's just another person to have it in your corner, and it really makes a big difference. It's given us things to be proud of, like the plaques and stuff that we've gotten. You don't get really plaques for just being in business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's things like my kids see and they'll get to see later in life and we get to see, and it just reminds us that we're on the right, no matter what. It's those things prove that we're on the right path, no matter how hard it gets. Just hold the line. That's a good phrase.
It is.
Hold the line.
Hold the line.
Hold the line. 'Cause it's gonna get rocky, but you just gotta hold the line, and then when you get your feet, you push back, and then
Move forward.
Sparta.
Yeah. So what's next for the company?
Just keep working, really. You know, the projects just keep coming. They're always different. They're always fun and challenging. That I will say that they're getting more and more challenging, which I think we're kind of like hitting that point where like you couldn't throw anything at us that we couldn't handle. On where the company's going, a lot of people ask me that, and I don't really know because just upwards, it's just a center hub for our life and our family, and we'll continue to do hardscape. It's not going anywhere.
Limitless.
It's not leaving. It's just what it can do and how it can serve all of us, basically, and that's what it's for. How will it serve my kids and serve us and serve Drew and whoever, if someone else comes on and starts working, and however we're going to serve them.
Nice.
Because if it's serving them, they're gonna take it seriously.
Yeah.
I want it to be important to them like it's important to me.
Right.
And we tried that whole scaling up thing. You know, let's have big crews and big this and big that and everything. You immediately lose everything. Not financially. You might make way more money, but you lose the relationship with the customer. You lose a relationship with all the employees because you don't even know who they are, half of them, because you're not around or whatever. So we don't want to lose that. Yeah, the direction of the business definitely is just kind of wide open.
Yeah.
It could go anywhere. It's just not leaving.
Very good. Well, there's so many gems out of this conversation with Ryan and Jolynn of RW Stoneworks out of Morton, BBB accredited business, proud BBB accredited business in Central Illinois. And we're so proud of you.
Thank
and
you
all
so
the work
much.
you guys are doing, and the wonderful stories that we hear about you are certainly validate the other way as well, that yes, we picked a good one. Picked a good one. So we hope you've gotten some things that you can take away that will help you be a better business. And thanks for watching this episode with RW Stoneworks on the All Good Things with BBB podcast.